Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
In this comparison, we will analyze the details that distinguish Mazda's three best-selling SUVs, the CX-3, CX-30, and CX-5. While this article may resolve doubts about it, it should be noted that since February 2022 Mazda does not sell the CX-3, so it is only possible to acquire this model as a used car or used. Staggered by dimensions and price, its similarity in appearance and sometimes the relative that occurs between ranges when two models have the same engine can generate doubts when making a decision in a buyer. Prices. Of the three models cited in the comparison, the two largest are available on CarWow because they are currently marketed. You can configure a Mazda CX-30 from €26,933, thanks to an average savings in the offers offered by dealers of €3,635. The Mazda CX-5 starts at €29,330 and has an average discount of €3,876. Exterior dimensions. These three SUVs are in the range between 4.3 and 4.6 meters in length, that is, between small SUVs and midsize SUVs. The smallest of all is the Mazda CX-3, which measures 4.27 m in length, 1.77 m in width and 1.54 m in height, with a wheelbase of 2.57 m. Next in size is the CX-30, which measures 4.39 m in length, 1.79 m in width and 1.54 m in height with a wheelbase of 2.66 m. The largest is the CX-5, measuring 4.55 m long, 1.84 m wide, 1.68 m tall and 2.70 m wheelbase. Mazda CX-3, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-5 interior dimensions and roominess. It is obvious to think that the most spacious of the three SUVs is the CX-5, given its larger dimensions, although there are particular details that make the differences are diluted in some respects by how close they may be. The CX-3 is a small car inside and out. That is, in relation to the size of its body, there are similar models that have a better used cabin, more spacious. The space at shoulder level both front and rear is typical of a utility, about 136 centimeters, the same as in a Renault Clio or a Nissan Micra. With the height to the roof is exactly the same, it is not higher than in either of these two utilitarian, although its SUV body type can make you believe. In fact, only in the CX-5 is somewhat looser distance between the benches and the roof, but not brilliant compared to equivalent SUVs from other brands. Mazda CX-3 interior, Mazda CX-3 interior, Mazda CX-30 interior, Mazda CX-5 interior, the one with the least suitable cabin for tall passengers. In the front seats is the Mazda CX-30, with 4 centimeters less height than the CX-5 and 2 less than the CX-3. Conversely, in the rear the narrowest by far is the CX-3, which is low in height, about 90 centimeters, and low in width, while the CX-30 has a reasonably good figure, 96 centimeters, and the CX-5, good, 98 centimeters. Where the three SUVs differ most is in rear passenger legroom. The CX-3 and CX-30 are narrow overall and relatively. The CX-3 offers just enough room for adults to ride comfortably, at 64 centimeters. The CX-30 has 4 centimeters more, 68, and the CX-5 is the only one that gives a correct dimension, loose enough for adults, 72 centimeters. As for the driving position, there is a clear difference in height between the three models. The CX-3 sits higher than a passenger car, but only just, with 62 centimeters of distance between the floor and the driver's bench, in its lowest position. The CX-30 is a little higher, with 66 centimeters, and in the CX-5 there are 69 centimeters, so it is the most advisable for those looking for an SUV in which access as comfortable as possible without the need to bend down much. Trunk. The trunk with the largest capacity of this comparison between Mazda models is that of the CX-5 that, with 477 liters, of volume not too high for a medium SUV, but that takes advantage of the good arrangement of its space, accommodates several packages of considerable size as could be a large suitcase and two medium-sized. Malatero Mazda CX-3 Malatero Mazda CX-30 Malatero Mazda CX-5 The CX-30, with a cargo capacity of 430 liters, is equally practical. Despite its reduced space, while the CX-3's trunk, which holds only 350 liters, has enough volume for a couple to travel with their weekend luggage and then some. Engines. Since the Mazda CX-3 is no longer on sale, here we list the engines with which the last model was marketed during its commercial life. The engines that can power each model are as follows: 2.0 Skyactiv G 116 horsepower gasoline 2.0 Skyactiv G ECO label 2.0 Skyactiv X 180 horsepower gasoline 180 horsepower ECO label 2.0 E Skyactiv X 186 horsepower gasoline 186 horsepower ECO label diesel 122 horsepower 1.8 Skyactiv D 122 horsepower diesel C label Mazda CX-5 2.0 Skyactiv G 165 horsepower gasoline 165 horsepower Skyactiv G C label 2.5 Skyactiv G 194 horsepower gasoline 194 horsepower 2 and Dio tanked 5 Skyactiv G label C diesel 150 horsepower 2.2 Skyactiv D 150 horsepower diesel C label fuel consumption. The version with the lowest homologated average consumption of the CX-3 is the 115 horsepower diesel engine, with an average of 5.2 L/100 km, and in gasoline, the 2.0 121 horsepower, with exactly 1 liter more on average, 6.2 L/100 km. The same applies to the Mazda CX-30 with the 116 horsepower diesel engine, which is the most economical of all the engines of this model. 5.1 L/100 km of homologated average, while among the gasoline engines, the one with the lowest consumption is the 186 horsepower with 5.7 L/100 km, thanks to its microhybridization. Mazda CX-3 Mazda CX-30 Mazda CX-5 The Mazda CX-5 equipped with the 150 horsepower diesel engine is the least fuel efficient, with an average of 5.6 L/100 km. The most economical gasoline engine is the 165 horsepower with 6.7 liters consumed per 100 kilometers. Conclusion. The greatest closeness between these three SUVs lies in the range of engines that Mazda offers, as there are no major differences in power or fuel consumption. From there, preferences can guide the decision more, and we believe that each model is advisable depending on certain needs. The Mazda CX-3 seems advisable if you are looking for a small car, looking like an SUV, good maneuverability in the city and low consumption. But do not plan to use it to circulate with more than one passenger, because their rear seats are only recommended if children travel. Not even the height will give you a great advantage over a utility vehicle in case you have to place child seats. The Mazda CX-30 is perhaps the most balanced model if you are looking for a real SUV but with a driving very similar to that of a car. You travel in a slightly higher position, has a significantly better ride quality than the CX-3 because it filters better all the irregularities and gives more sense of stability, and its consumption is still very good. If you consider it as a family car, you will have a model that does not win in space compared to its equivalents from other brands. But at least it is within the segment average. The CX-5 is a car for those who need to move the family. It has enough space, trunk and road capabilities to make long trips in comfort and spaciousness. It is not the best in habitability, because it is not Mazda's forte, but its driving position and dynamics can get you excited because Mazda always gives a fun touch to the feel of their cars, so if you value this detail, it seems one of the most advisable SUVs in its price range. In conclusion, when comparing the Mazda CX-3, CX-30, and CX-5, each model offers unique strengths tailored to different preferences and needs. The CX-3 is perfect for those seeking a compact and agile crossover, while the CX-30 strikes a balance between size and versatility, making it ideal for urban dwellers and families alike. On the other hand, the CX-5 stands out with its spacious interior and robust performance, catering to those who prioritize comfort and capability. Ultimately, your choice will depend on your lifestyle and what you value most in a vehicle. Thank you for watching, and we hope this comparison helps you make an informed decision.